There it is. See?
Bro, I'm gonna bullshit you now, but I do like you.
What'd I tell you?
So what I do basically is I run a gray wash, real light, so that I can give you the space for the shading to accommodate it the way I want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gives me the space to either leave it light or go dark, or change the outline if I wasn't too pleased with it. You know?
See, that's what people don't understand. They think if you tattoo, like, it's permanent. Like, every time you touch somebody, it's permanent. But you do these lines, the gray lines, and then you can come back in and fix them and cover them up or shade them, like kind of get rid of them.
Mark Andrew, he says, thanks guys for all you do.
Welcome.
I'm not quite sure what.
I'm taking this like a champ, by the way.
Yeah, you are.
See, all you guys who squirm around when you're getting tattooed, you know,
I think you're jumping around a little bit. Javier asked on the rear spring or front spring.
okay, when you're talking about tensions, you're not talking about the front spring. Front spring has nothing to do with your tensions. You're just talking about the rear spring, because as soon as that front spring leaves the contact screw, there's nothing there. There's no tension there. But your rear spring is always pushing that armature back up. And plus, too, if you're getting too many snags, if your needle is sticking in the skin and it's not coming out, you don't have enough rear tension. Tension on your rear spring. I need one of these things. But you know what I'm doing? Is I'm 3D printing one of them. Like, but it's all like nuts and bolts and little plastic 3D printed stuff.
For the 3D. You should print out some machine holders.
I used to make those out of PVC pipe. I had a video out there,
Yeah.
but everybody said they're not sanitary. You know, like I've taken a couple of videos down.
Why would they not be sanitary? If your skin is clean, simple as that.
Well, yeah, you know, it's like, no, I guess just putting the machine. So every time I touch a machine, even if it's like not tattooing with it, I try to wear gloves.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, every once in a while, if that machine hasn't been used for 30 years and it's just sitting there, yeah, you can pick it up. I mean, the sunlight and the air will kill the stuff on your machine, you know? So if it's been there long enough, yeah, I'll touch it with my hands. But if someone just got done tattooing with it, I'm not going to touch it without gloves on, you know? So I think people just think that, how's it going? That's Debbie.
Right.
So I think people think that because the tattoo machines touch them all the time. How's it going? I would shake your hand right now, but here, I'll do a left-handed shake. Nick, this is my wife Terry. This is Eric. You've seen her on kind of this and that. So liners are faster. You know, usually you want them like, I go 120, 130, 140. People like to get up into 150, but I think that causes too much damage, you know? So I stick around 120 is a good spot to 140 for liners. Shaders, it depends. It depends on how you shade, you know? Everybody's different, you know, so I'm just throwing out my numbers. And if they don't work for you, it's because they're my numbers, they're not your numbers. Your machine setup are different. But
That means cut it shorter.
cut it shorter. Okay. So shading. If you want to do fast shading and you know make it real smooth, to go to 120, just like a liner, 130. If you want to do kind of pepper shading, like little stippling kind of effects, you can slow it down and go to like 110. You know, and color packing, slow it down. Dude, I will even go down to 90 cycles per second on color packing, 90 to 100. I like going real slow because you go slow, but it packs it in faster. So it's like slowing down kind of speeds up the process.
We have another, well, first before we go say is, he says, I really appreciate you taking the time to explain. Very limited on resources over here.
Everywhere, dude. Everywhere.
Okay, so
Everywhere.
So then Mark has a question. Have either of you checked out the new Nash PS from Tatsol and Critical? I was thinking about upgrading from my cheap PS.
Critical's good.
Okay, so here's my thing. I'm not rich. I don't have a lot of money. We struggle over here too. So I'm not always trying out the newest things. And in fact, my thing is that I like to fix things and make my own things. Again, I have a video that's coming out. It's in my computer right now. Hopefully I don't accidentally throw it away like I did the last video, you know. But so I've made my foot pedal out of some saw blades and the wires out of my car. I make my own springs, you know, so that's why you see me with coils a lot, is because I can fix them and make them work, you know. But I do like trying new things, so if somebody wants to send me a brand new one of those things, go right ahead.
Then Javier says, I use 123 on line, 113 on shading, and 98 on color, but with rotary machines I won't get a readout.
Yeah, you don't.
I was going to say that's normal. I
Yeah,
do that.
because the readout is your spring hitting the contact screw, and you don't have that on a rotary machine. So you're not going to get a readout because it's not there. That is totally different. Did I wear you out? Do we need a break? Do we need to take
No.
a
It's
10?
this machine really gave me
Anxiety?
All right.
a little bit.
So-
it really did.
So here's a good thing too. I'm getting old. I can feel it, man. My hands, not the same. So heavy machines, dude, don't mess with heavy machines. Like, see the wrap on Eric's machine here? Wrap them up, save your hands, dude. Make them last. Get the lighter machines. They tried to teach me, like, everything I read was if you want good line work, get a heavy ass machine.
Hell
That is
no.
so wrong.
Hell
Like,
no.
look at it, you know, look how light these rotaries are, and you can line with a rotary. Don't let anybody tell you you can't line with a rotary.
I line just
They
fine.
tried it, you know, when I was in the shop, they kept, why are you lining with that rotary? I'm like, because you can. Look, I'm doing it. I was proving it to them. Look, you can't tell me I can't line with a rotary because I just showed you I can do it. How's it going? Any questions so far? We got people asking questions here, so, you know, feel free to throw them out. So we have Debbie here too, guys. Debbie's into permanent cosmetics. Am I saying that?
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm working with her and talking to her, trying to figure some stuff out and help her along. Not a lot of information out there sometimes. I think people get ripped off when they try to find information. There's a lot of sharks swimming around in the water in the tattoo world, so you gotta be careful, you know, because a lot of people are out there waiting to rip you off. So I'm trying to start looking into permanent cosmetics and get something going for that. Tattoo University isn't just you know, tattoos for artwork, but also tattoos that help people out. I've helped people who tattoo people with hair loss. I help people who tattoo eyebrows. I talked to a doctor who tattooed eyeballs, and I helped the doctor out, figure some stuff out.
So let me ask you. Oh, you said eyeballs.
A doctor. So here's
Okay,
the thing.
Never mind.
Tattoos
I retract
help
the question.
people out. Yeah, no, yeah. But it's not like we're thinking, where the guys who have tattooed their whole eyeball black or blue.
Right.
This is where they actually make your eye look like it's supposed to.
Right.
So it helps people with like the eyeball that's kind of not there, you know. Like,
Right.
You know, it helps them feel better. So
Of course.
you know, tattoos actually help people feel better. Yeah, a placement is a big thing too.
So what is this?
Okay, so he's using a mag. What are you using there? Like
17?
15?
17.
So that makes a line. So why couldn't
Yeah.
you use that on the eyebrow?
So see how fat this line. Leave the ink on there for a second when you do
Hold on.
when you get a new one. See how fat that is?
Right.
So if you want a lot, like an area covered, a big area like that, you can do that. And in fact, because it's such a big area and there's more needles, they're not going as deep. Like if you get a smaller group, it's easier to go deeper. With the big, if you want shading, see what the technique right now is that he's getting shading in there. So if you want a solid line, you could turn that sideways, but it's going to be, this line is going to be for a thick line, you know. Oh, it's behind me, but I'm
He
facing
has
this
one
way.
more
Hold
question
on.
whenever you're ready, baby.
There. Okay. Go for it.
No, Javier just wants to know where he can send a picture of the tats that he's done that he's had issues with, where maybe you can help him figure out what's wrong.
Nick Durant on Instagram. Also, Tattoo University on Facebook. Eric would love to answer your question on there.
Don't throw at me, bro. He's saying to you.
Hey, that's my job, dude. I got too much work to do, man. Okay, no, so here's the idea. And this is when I created Tattoo University. It was not about me. It's about the community of tattoo artists helping each other out. And I know you guys want to latch on to me and Eric and ask me all the questions and stuff, and I will help you. I will. You can Instagram me at Nick Durant Tattoos. Oh wait, that was my old Nick Durant. You can Instagram me. You can Facebook Tattoo University, but if you get in the group and throw the question out to the group, the group will answer it for you, and it'll be quicker than waiting for me and Eric to answer you. Because if you live halfway across the world, I'm probably asleep, you know, or someone halfway across the world, Eric's probably busy because he's the machine. You know, he's busy all the time, you know, so send it to the group. Now, you have to be careful because not everybody knows what they're talking about. So you have to take the information, process it, test it out for yourself, and if it doesn't make sense, just don't do it. You know, like some stuff just doesn't make sense. Follow, okay, I love it when you guys come to Tattoo University and then you ask me if you can split off into another group. And some other groups have started this way, and they're successful, and I am A-okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that, because what you should be doing is finding the artists who you work with good. You know, you're going to get on there, there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to argue with you and fight with you. Don't talk to those people. Don't tell me, but just don't talk to those people. Find people who you can talk to and form a group with.
You want to do a real quick quote for a portrait?
A what?
For a portrait.
Go for it.
Portrait?
Man.
Let me talk to him.
Yeah. I'll just talk to these guys. Yeah. Okay, so Tattoo University is not about me. You guys keep trying to make it about me. It's about the group and you guys being able to talk to other artists. So look for the artist who knows what they're talking about. Look at their work to see if their work matches what they're saying, and then talk to them and form a small group with them that you can work with. If you find somebody who lives in your area, you can talk to them. If you, like me, I'm talking to people halfway across the world, and I'm asleep, they're awake, they message me, I wake up, I send them messages while they're asleep. You know, find some people in your area, or at least your time zone, who you can talk to.
Baby. Mark is back. He was always there, but he's asking, I've noticed when I'm tattooing, I'm not getting a solid black line on the first pass. What am I doing wrong?
Not going deep enough, or your machine's not fast enough, or you need to change your ink.
Not going deep.
Yeah. Do a test line first, see where it's at. If it's not working, adjust your machine. You can either turn the voltage up, or you can hang your needle out a little bit more and then do another test line. Once you see it going in black and solid, then you know you're good. And once you do enough practice, you'll just set it up, and your first test line will just come out solid all the time.
And just Javier wants you to know that that's what he's trying to do. There's a lot of artists that don't know or have the knowledge.
Or they're just not sharing. So find someone who shares, man. There are people out there who would like to share, but they might not be in your area. That's what the internet's for, man. See, I don't live here. I had to travel down here. So I could conversate with people on the internet and in person about tattooing. So this is why people think I'm boring. And I had a rock star too, so you guys are in for it. And coffee this morning, by the way, too. So here's the thing. Do you paint or work with pens or anything like that? If you use markers, like especially those calligraphy markers, you pick the needle like you would pick a paintbrush or a marker. if you take that dot and you move the machine, then you get a line with that. So if you take a mag and you just put it straight down, you get rows of dots. But if you move that in a circle, you get a solid, it turns into a solid line. So when you line with that, you can get the solid dots just straight, or you can kind of do, I call it like either circle motions or a scrubbing motion, where you can kind of go back and forth. So instead of getting like those little dots, you turn them into solid dots pretty much, and that's how you get the line. It's all about the size of the needle and the mark the needle makes. So if I was painting a giant picture, I would get a giant paintbrush, you know.
Okay. So they only use a 5 shader.
Okay, so shaders are loose. It's actually, we actually call them the wrong things, and I'm sure some, before you guys make the comment, I'm going to throw it out there. It's actually a loose group and a tight group, and then you even have thick needles, and then like the needle itself is a different diameter and a different shape. So when I say a short tapered needle, it's like a pudgy little fat needle. A long tapered needle is a real thin long needle. So the marks that a short pudgy fat needle make are solid marks, which is good for color packing. Bug pins are tiny though, so the diameter on that is different. So if you get a regular mag with a long taper, you can do like hair, you know, like feathering, you know. But if you get a short taper with the same diameter, it puts solid dots in. So if you're packing color, you want a thicker needle, a short, pudgy, thick needle. If you want to do little wispy line stuff, you go bug pins and thin needles. Bug pins are great for shading, if anybody's watching this. But bug pins smaller, what people I see do a lot who don't use bug pins is just use a long tapered mag. That's probably a long tapered mag in there right now.
Yeah.
So you can accomplish the same thing with two different types of needles. It's just what you prefer. Think about cameras and pixels. Like all the little dots, like shrink in on it and look at the dots. So if you're making big dots, like what's the big picture look like? If you're making little tiny dots, you get a smoother transition. If you're making big dots, you get a chunkier look, you know, a more solid look. I'm taking over all of Eric's airtime.
No,
But
that's
he's
good.
tattooing.
That's good, finally.
I wish I had somebody to talk while I tattoo, because talking and tattooing slows you down.
It does, and people don't say that.
You guys slow me down. I'm telling you that right now. It's your fault. Like, that's why it takes me like 5 hours to do a 2-hour tattoo, man. It's
Show you what.
everything's gonna be confusing now, but the more you stick to it, it won't make sense until about year 4 or 5.
No, it needs to make sense by March 4th.
Oh no, it won't make sense. It won't make sense till year 4 or 5, and then at year 5, the year 5 mark, guys, all of a sudden everything's like that. Everything just like, oh, I know everything all of a sudden at year 5, but it takes 5 years to get there.
Then drawing a picture,
Yeah,
you know.
it's like you paint acrylics your whole life, and then all of a sudden someone gives you oil paint.
You know,
and
let me
like,
tell
here,
you-
paint with this.
Let me tell you that at first I was intimidated with oils.
Yeah, I hate oils.
And the moment
I can't do it.
The moment I touched them, acrylics, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Oil, watercolors, bye-bye. Pastels, and that's everybody, bye-bye.
Yeah. If
Oils, bro.
okay, if you're tattooing or trying to learn how to tattoo, start drawing with markers. Start drawing with markers, man, and that'll help you learn. I just had to throw that in there because I'm really like getting into markers now.
Oh, yeah?
And the similarity. I'm going to do a video one of these days. The similarities between tattooing and markers. It's a different machine, you know, different medium, but it acts the same way. You know, it's
Right.
the process, the thought process will get you ready. People think you have to tattoo to learn, and you have to do really bad tattoos on yourself until you learn how to tattoo. It's not the case. There's a lot of art things you can do first that will prepare you for tattooing. And that's why everyone used to ask me, does this guy tattoo? Because all my videos were like me drawing on paper and showing techniques. And I'm like, an apprentice wouldn't be tattooing the day they walk into the shop. There's a reason why you get them on paper and stuff first, because you teach them the technique first, and then you give them the needles and let them learn it on the skin, you know?
Right.
But if they don't learn that paper first,
It ain't gonna work.
it's just going to look like worse on skin. If you can't draw something on paper and it looks ugly on paper, don't try to put it on somebody's skin. It'll look even worse. I'll take a break from there. That way people don't get tired of listening to me talk.
No, I think they're enjoying
yes,
it.
I do listen. I do sound like Bert from The Big Bang Theory. I totally am cool with that. I hear it all the time. What's his name? Posen? Am I saying it?
Yeah, something here. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I know I sound like that guy. That's probably why you guys listen to me so much. So,
Or think you're boring.
No, their information is nice.
Monotone voice.
She's using a 1.
okay.
An acupuncture or 1. A lot of them do number 1, and I don't understand.
So here's the problem with ones. If you have and this is why mags are good for lining. If you have one needle, the ink, and this is why I use real thick ink. You want Brian Posen, right? All right, Bert or Brian Posen, however you guys know him. Yes, I sound like him, and I get it all the time. So I've accepted that.
You're running with it.
I'm running with it.
You're better looking.
Hey, but
They don't look alike.
Hey, but that dude has more money than me, so probably it's a trade-off, you know. Okay, so with one needle, the ink needs to be on the needle to go into the skin, right?
Right.
But with one needle, it's like a little guy fighting a whole war by himself, like one little guy. When you throw 3 needles in there, that space in between the needles holds ink. So actually, if you're using a 1 round liner, just go to a 3, or actually, if they make it better, it would be a 3 round liner, but one of the needles would stick out a little bit further than the other 2 needles. The other 2 needles just feed the ink onto that one needle. So with the 1 liner, people have a hard time because they can't get the ink in there, and that's an adjustment thing. But you want, sometimes if the ink's on the skin, I don't wipe it off. If I still want, because it's on the skin already, and I just poke the needle in that area, it's right there so that ink will get in there, you know. So it's like closer, it's there, and you use it, you know. So with a 1 round liner, having more ink there so that needle can kind of work it into the skin would be better. Or 3 round liner, because it'll just kind of hold. So if you go a bigger needle, and people used to say I was nuts when I said this, I'm like, if you want a better line, use a bigger needle, because it will hold ink more, you know.
I think because she's right over here, she's trying to make sure she gets that detail. She doesn't want to go.
So if you whip it out, you get a line. If you go straight across and stop, you get a dot right at the end. Sorry. Okay. Take here, you do it. I'll explain. Get your piece of paper. All right. Put your marker here on the paper. Now do a line, but don't pick up your marker. All right, stop. See, now pick up your marker. See the dot at the end of that?
Yeah.
Okay, now call this landing the airplane and taking off the airplane. Slowly put the needle, slowly put the marker down on the paper and move it across, and as you get to the end of the line, come back up. There's your edge.
Right, and that's
So if you're using a 1 and you're worried about that edge, it's because they're not picking up that needle at the end. They're just holding it and moving it straight across. But if you want that edge, you want to feather it out, just whip it out at the end. Just whip it out. Something I can't do all the time without hearing scream.
So she's shading with the same needle, this whole mouth.
You're going pretty fast.
My machine, bro.
Yeah. And this is
Yeah, the
why I
other
like
one,
this is why
yeah.
I like mags too.
Yeah.
It's easy to go fast.
The bigger the mag, the smoother
The shading, yeah. Well, that's why like you can go small and get smooth shading, or you can go bigger
But you gotta go
to get
slow and
smooth
stuff,
shading.
yeah.
You know, yeah. It is all depends on how you work and what you like.
Yeah.
You know, everybody thinks it's because they drill in your head. There's only one way to do something.
It's because
And
they're
that's the only way, and that's the old school. Like even my mentor, he had me adjust all my machines differently. He had everything hitting real hard, you know, and it was like the old way of doing things.
right.
And he used to always say he hated guys' work and it was all new stuff. But actually, the way I tattoo was I learned more from reinventing the tattoo because it worked with my style, you know.
Right.
But if you read like A to Z tattooing, you know, it's like two different styles. Are you hitting hard and running flowy ink, or are you like hitting soft and building it up, you know?
Yeah. How do you feel my hand?
Was talking about that.
Oh yeah, I'm not even feeling this right now.
I'm told I got a light hand.
Yeah.
And it's true because when
Here,
I fight,
here,
I
let
can
me
never
s-
knock the motherflower down.
Okay, guys.
Oh,
If you
shit.
want to help the channel out, buy a 20 of hand pokers here. Yeah. 3D printed, dude. Hand poker. So I tattoo with these.
What do you mean?
And
hand
you want
poker?
to talk about a light hand poke somebody. They won't even feel it, and you'll get an awesome looking tattoo, man. I 3D
How much
printed
are those?
So those ones are about $10, and
Those
then
are for
sale, guys. These
Bro,
are
that's
for sale,
nice.
dude. Buy them. And then I have crazy looking ones. Let me pull up my Instagram. And can you pull up the? Okay.
those are nice, bro.
If you guys want to look at what I'm selling, if you guys want to make me money so I can make more videos for you guys, so I can buy those new machines that you guys want to ask questions about, go to Instagram again. Big fan of Instagram. Tattoo U Equipment. Don't forget to throw that U in there. If you're looking for my website, just go to gotattooU.com. That's my site. Go Tattoo U, like Go Tattoo University. If you just go gotattoo.com, that's not my site. You're gonna get somebody else. So, but if you want to see what we have, if you want to sell your stuff too, if you have a good reputation, here's the thing: I will check on your reputation.
Great little kid.
I will not tell anybody about you. Nobody pays me right now. I'm not under anybody's thumb. That's the best thing, is that I'm doing my thing.
Your own thing.
Yeah, nobody is sponsoring me, so I can tell the truth about anything, right? You might get mad, but I can tell the truth. So, but if you have good machines and you have a good reputation and you're doing the responsible thing, like if somebody doesn't like your machines and want to send them back to you, you give them their money back. You know, it's like people say, what company do you go to? Any company that'll give me my money back if I'm not happy with their stuff. Because sometimes I like a company, but then they send me crap and I'm like, no, you're taking this back. I'm not using this, you know? So Instagram, Tattoo U Equipment, if you want to see what I'm selling. And on the website, gotattooU.com. And if you want to sell your stuff, if you want to sell your tattoo equipment and you have a good reputation, I'll put your information on there for free. Just hit me up.
Simple as that.
Simple as that, for free.
And you heard it right here on Tattoo University.
Yeah. I didn't realize I had a scar right there. I mean, I got them everywhere, but now you got me thinking, where was that one from? But I work construction too, so
Right there.
I wires cut you all the time and stuff, you know. There you go. Okay. So I'll have to look at your machine. Let me see that machine real quick.
This was the cheapie that they gave me when I graduated.
Okay, so about a 10 to $20 machine.
Yeah, I got 3 of them $20 machines, and then I bought this. This is the rotary piece of junk that I bought. This is a real junker.
Okay.
And then I bought this last week. This is the Dragon Hawk.
Let's see. I mean, actually, this looks like, except for this little plastic screw right here, and I mean, it looks like it's set up correctly.
I like that one.
It's probably a liner, you know. So did they tell you it's a shader? I mean, but again, like we just saw with different setups, it just depends on how you tattoo. It could be a liner, shader. I actually line with shaders all the time. So it's the travel here and the tension on your rear spring. So when you're making marks, you don't want to shade and make a black mark in there. So the higher tension and more gap there, and also mixing your inks, you can get shading instead of a black solid mark. Which is, that would always have, when I tried to shade right at first, I would try to do this to shade, and I would wipe it off and it would be solid black. And I was like, dude, I had the hardest time with shading at first because all of my stuff, and then I learned too though, so I learned the machines, but then I learned like, okay, my ink I'm getting triple blacks, Black Buddha, you know, Eternal, like you gotta thin it out more.
Yeah. I went through that with, you know which one? Silver Black.
Yeah.
I got Silver Black. I got
that's what everybody's into
the
right
collection for gray washes.
Yeah.
Hell no, they were too dark. Oh, you know which ones are darker? Intense.
Yeah, so I mean, when I first started, I tried Intense, but like I just moved on, so I haven't gone back, so I haven't really tried. And because I make my own gray wash, and it's like the stencil stuff, I make my own stencil stuff, so people always ask me about gray washes, and I'm like, I'll tell you what I make, because like that's what I use all the time.
Right.
But I know I push myself out of my comfort zone too, though. So whenever I get a chance, I try other things, you know. It's like I tried the way my mentor was trying to show me how to set up machines. I tried that, and that helped me understand the other way of tattooing, like the hard hitting, you know, fast machines. But it wasn't for me. So, but I at least tried it. You know, you try it. If it's not for you, then try something else.
For you.
You know.
Well, they're gonna vibrate, but
Which ones?
My new one vibrates, so I wrap it in the
Now that one shouldn't vibrate that much. I mean, a rotary.
No?
Yeah,
Shouldn't?
that shouldn't. That should be real easy.
That's why I got this.
Where'd that one come from?
Ah,
I bought this last week.
that looks like a papa.
Like
Is
from a
that?
company or
Yeah, Dragon Hawk.
Oh, Dragon Hawk. Dragon Hawk's supposed to be good.
supposed to be good? Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I might have to look. Here, let me see that other coil machine. Oh, is this a rotary? Your black one right there. The other one.
Yeah, this is the waste of money.
Oh, dude, that's gonna burn out quick. Look how little that motor is on this.
Yeah, but you know what?
I feel that. Well,
But it looks, it reminds me of.
it looks like
the
some other machine.
Bishop.
though. Yeah.
Bishop's got a smaller one than that.
Because I thought it would be
Well, here's the thing. If the motor,
Yeah, well, you
how much did you pay for? Do you?
Guess what? So they sold it to me for like 45, and then I see how did they
You
sell it for
probably
20.
get them for 20 or 10, 15, depending on where.
Same one.
So the motor on this will work, but the motor on this is gonna burn out real quick. This is the problem. This is what I'm talking about, guys. These work, but these little motors are gonna burn out.
Okay.
Oh, was I not?
Yeah,
Where am I? at?
right there. You're good.
Okay, and both these wires are yellow, so I gotta figure out which one's the positive. And you gotta figure out which way to connect these things up when you're connecting them. You gotta find the positive and negative, or you burn it out quicker.
Where do you want the positive at?
It's a positive, 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 negative, negative.
That's right.
Okay, here's a good question. This came with the pen, and then this came with my coil. Can you use this
I had one of these that burned out, but it worked. It just burned out after a while. Oh well, that's a different. Okay, here's the thing. Let me. Yeah.
Realize that.
So
similar to the one you
you notice how they all look the same, but they all have different companies on them.
Yeah.
But they're like the same
Same
thing.
box, same
So
shit.
they just sell them for different prices. One will have a lion on it. So with power supplies, I went through like 4 or 5 power supplies until I finally one that worked. I'm sitting in front of his power supply.
That's how I am. I went through a few until I came across
But-
critical, and now I'm stuck right there.
But here's the thing, like, so I had one of these that worked, but you can buy the exact same thing, and it'll just burn out on somebody. It's like luck of the draw, you know? So if you're buying cheap ones, it's luck of the draw. You know, you're
real.
risking it. If it burns out, make sure you can send that thing back, you know, and get your money back. But if you want a good power supply, you gotta pay the money. That's the thing with machines. You can, if you know how to fix them, you're good. With power supplies, you gotta go expensive. You gotta get the good stuff, or else it's gonna burn out on you. Or again, buy 2 or 3 of them, so when that one burns out, you can
Get
switch
the
it
other
out
one,
for
yeah.
the next one. You know,
Can I use this one?
you can use both of those. It's just one of them it might burn out after a while, but you can use them. They're fine. But what I usually suggest is getting a power supply. So I paid like $60 on Amazon. How many? Man, I've had that thing 4 or 5 years. So I finally found a cheapie that worked though, and I don't even remember who we bought it from. Everybody asked me like, "Where'd you get that from?" But it works, and it's worked for years. Man, I had a point. Damn, I'm losing track today.
The power source?
Oh, but it has a readout on it. So if you want to know how your machines are running, you need to know the speed and you need to know the duty. So that will tell you, that will give you so much information. You're really shooting in the dark if you don't have a readout. Now on a rotary, you're fine. You know, and even now, I don't really need the readout unless something goes wrong,
Right.
or I'm tuning it. But that's I tune everything and I look at everything, so that's why I need. But if you have a machine that just runs and it's a good machine, no, you don't need the readout. But if you want to know how it's working, you know, it's like hooking up the heart monitor. Like if you're at a hospital, the EKG. If you want an EKG to your machine, then you got to get the numbers, you know.
Sometimes spend a little money and go,
Oh, let me look at this one. See how
that
this
was a
one.
waste. But then you learn. And
See,
you
this one's
learn,
got
and you
too
go,
much
okay,
gap
that's not
back
what
there.
I want. This is what I need.
That is, if you can see the light through that, I mean, you want to see a thin gap in the back. But like more than a really thin gap, more than $1 bill,
That's
width,
too much.
Too much. And see, look, this one's set up as a shader, but they got a liner stroke on it. You know, the people who make these guys don't know what they're doing. They just know how to put parts together, but they don't know how to put them together correctly. It takes the guy who knows how to put them together correctly to make these things work, man. Oh, this drives me nuts too. The lines, when they don't line up on your clip cord, I hate that. I'm so anal about my clip cord being so straight, and if one's
You
crooked
want them
and the other
to.
one, you
I get
know,
them a lot like that.
I hate them like that. I will get rid of a machine if it's like that. I will not use a machine like that. Even if I'm so picky. If my clip cord ain't right, I'm like, no, it's gone. All right, that's it. Okay, so look, if you do that, what should happen?
Oh shit!
What should happen if you
Should have
do
went
that?
through.
Yeah.
So that's the
So
problem.
is they said this is like a 1 or a 3,
Wait,
and that's
are
a
you
5
Let me
needle.
see.
Yeah, look, it's not.
So maybe that's why I'm having problems. I
All
might
right.
have a broken needle when I get it through there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you're,
you know
you're
what?
working with a wrong
I've been working
function
with that for
something.
a month. And I always like get really sweaty.
Look how there. I mean,
Oh my god.
no,
thought it
it's
was fine.
good, but it's just
You
okay.
have to play with it.
Am I when I
A little late. Oh yeah, you're good right there.
okay? When I buy needles and tubes, they're not all the same. Different companies. Even though it says it's a 3, it's a little different. You know,
Yeah, it
everything's
is.
a little different, right? So this one was a little tight. So what I did was I found the grips and the needles, the same company. So I always use the same company because I know it works. So when you're new and you're testing things out, find what works, because there was some trouble with this, just the sizes being on. And sometimes the 7s, especially a 7 mag, has too much wiggle room in there. I don't like that. Like I want a real tight.
When I don't find them to
you know.
fit, I'll get a 7. Like for example, if I'm gonna use a 5 and I'm having a
Okay,
trouble
looks
with
like he's
it.
got a bloody nose.
Bloody nose. I smacked it right now. Made me mad. I'll use, like, if I got a 7 and I'm having a hard time, I'll use a 5, I'll use a 7, a 2 for a 7. That gives me a little extra width, and it just goes in.
Yeah. And here's another trick. Don't buy 5s. Just buy 9s. And everything from a 3 up to a 9 will fit into a 9. And buy diamond tips, because this is supposed to sit right in the bottom, and with a diamond tip, the groove holds it in the bottom for you. It does the work for you. And this one time, well, I tattooed this crazy coworker of mine one time, right? And I'm not saying names. No, she'll never watch this. So she showed up, and like she had a tattoo before, so I thought like, okay, she should know how this process works. You know, she has a tattoo, and so I was like, just a little mountain on her back. It's on my Instagram. I'll have to show it to you. And I did it with that little whip machine, you know. So all I did was like line it, and then I did a little whip shading and stuff. But she sat down and was like, "Are you done yet?" And I had just put the stencil on. I was like, "What?" Like, you know. And then she's like, "Oh, I got to make sure I'm not really stressed out, so I got to use my oil therapy, right?" So then she,
Aromatherapy.
yeah, aromatherapy. So,
Like eucalyptus.
and I was like, dude.
Lavender.
So okay, so
And,
she's making the place smell right, and I'm like, I don't want to be calm right now. I'm tattooing you. I want to be awake, you know. So I'm like, I better go get some coffee because this isn't working for me. You want to be calm, but I need to focus. You know, I need to have some energy. You know, and it's just the whole time is just craziness, and that kind of stuff happens like in the shop all the time. Like, dude, you gotta be ready for that. If you're going in the world of tattooing, you gotta know how to deal with crazy sometimes, man.
You don't.
So,
You just show them the door.
Well, yeah.
So
So
they're talking on their phone and they're trying to order.
no,
pizza.
I mean if they're on the
No,
phone,
you gotta be
they-
rude. Honestly, the owner keeps telling me that I can't be like that and stuff. But you know what? I have to say it like this: I'm the one sitting here dealing with them. So
Yeah.
I'm patient to a certain point. I'll keep saying, "Hey, Davey, you're moving too much."
Yeah.
Hey, Davey, I'm making the lines thicker now because you keep moving too much. Hey, Davey, do me a favor, Davey. Let me finish this, please.
Yeah.
Can you please stop it?
Yeah.
I got
So
like that.
You see what I'm saying? I go through that.
If they're on their phones, or if they can even move this side of their body without moving the area I'm tattooing, I don't care. Like I'm like fine, but if you're moving that while I'm trying to tattoo and you're messing up my tattoo and that's gonna be on you and that's my work, then I'm like okay. But I have a couple of little tricks, you know. Handcuffs work really good. No, I just okay. Handcuff them to the stand, you know, make sure they can't move their arm, duct tape. Okay, so this is my problem. People do this here, check this out. All right. You have the people who slink away from you, like the
Let me
tattoo hurts.
pause you.
So
Let
they're
me
like
pause you
pulling
right there.
away.
Let me pause you right there and give you an experience.
That's gonna help.
So I was tattooing a girl right here. So she had her arm like so. And I'm tattooing her right here. So obviously I got her right here. And she did exactly what you said.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't understand it. All I know is that she went and guess what?
The needle was in her.
There was a big ass line
Yeah.
from here and then it skipped this little dip and then picked up right here. Bam. All I could do was tell her, don't worry, I'm not gonna charge you for that extra line. But she did it all on her own. She did it all on her own.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. And then I had another experience with a drunk guy. That's what I don't like to do, drunk people. This guy was drunk.
Yeah.
And he kept telling me, go in deeper. It doesn't hurt me. And I'm
Not
like,
supposed
and
to.
I'm like, bro, just let me do my thing. Go in deeper. It doesn't hurt me. And he kept going at it. You know what he did? He grabbed my hand with the machine, and I was doing this part here, and he literally just did this number. I was like, bro,
You're out.
you see that right there? That's the door, homie. And he kept telling me, no, go ahead, finish it. It's cool. I said, no, it's cool right now because you're drunk, bro. Tomorrow morning when you see it,
Yeah.
you're going to come and fight. Get out of here.
So
I was told
people
that
don't.
you're not supposed to drink the night before or the day of.
Okay.
It thinks out your blood.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. So people
When
think.
he's talking about his fancy hand
Yeah.
pickers.
Oh, here, let me just
Does
show that on.
eagles,
I like that one.
skulls,
Yeah. I should have brought you some. I need to finish some more. Here. I don't know if we can. Go to
Right there.
Tattoo You Equipment on Instagram. And you can see the stuff I'm selling. You can drink and get tattooed. I remember watching a show where this lady was putting down a 6-pack and the guy's tattooing on her, right? I've tattooed people with taking medicine, warfarin to thin their blood, you know?
I think a lot of it is psychosomatic.
But what people don't realize though, so the reason why you don't want someone drunk isn't because their blood is thinning out, it's because they act like an asshole in the shot. If they drink and they don't act like an asshole, fine. And in fact, I had this guy really high anxiety, and the only way he'll sit there and not move is if he drinks a tall one while I'm tattooing him, you know? And if that calms him down enough to get tattooed,
Then go
and
for it.
he doesn't act like a jerk, you know, and he's not bleeding to death, you know? It's just the reason why you're not allowed to drink in a shop is because you act like an asshole. Again. All right, get the marker. See, I can teach somebody how to tattoo without a tattoo machine.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, like,
That's right.
It's the technique is there, and then you pick up the machine. You don't pick the machine up first. That comes later.
No, I get it.
Okay, so just do a line. Do a line on there. Okay, now do a line, but this time do small little circles. And do it the same width, but yeah, just small little circles. That's how you can tattoo with a one liner. And see, and because you're booming doing those tight little circles to do a line, it's like when you just poke it once, you get the one little dot. But when you do the tight little circle, you get a bigger dot. You know, so that's how you would work in with a one round. Dude, I love that smell. It kind of makes me sad that I don't use it anymore, but I love it.
Back team.
Oh, you're back teaming me? Mm-hmm. You don't need to do that, man. I take it.
No. It's just I want some of the redness to start going away.
Oh, I get red, man.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. That's why.
My
Because
beard- my beard's red.
My other
My,
clients were already be normal, and you're still red. And I'm like,
Yeah.
when is it gonna go away?
Okay, guys. Look how pale. Like, if I was any
Like
paler,
I'm waiting, and it's still
any-
there.
if I was any paler, I'd look like this saran wrap right here, guys. So it's gonna be red. Okay, so a tattoo, this redness. I get this question all the time too. It's okay, right? He's not going too deep. He's not messing anything up. If I touch this tattoo right now, it would feel like my skin. It would not be raised. It would not be scarred. This is gonna heal like a sunburn, right? Like just a little bit of skin that's gonna flake off when it heals. So a little bit of redness. I'm a pale white guy, so you know you're gonna get a little redness. But if you see blood dripping down somebody's arm and
Then there's an issue.
it's scabby, and you're digging like a trench with your needle in someone's skin, like you're opening up like a hot dog. I know it's a funny video with the hot dog, but I did it on purpose. If you open that up like a hot dog, somebody's skin, that's exactly what it looks like. You're doing too much damage.
I asked him.
If you could, okay, so tattooing a hot dog, I don't recommend it. I did that for a reason, just to show you too much damage will split the skin like taking a knife to a hot dog. But don't tattoo hot dogs, man. I'm not telling you to do that. I think some people take it the wrong way.
Yeah, they
You
do.
read that
Like-
when you read my question? Do you think, oh my god, she thought I was serious? I was literally.
Oh, I
I
get
bought
so
bananas instead.
I get so many. Oh, so bananas will give you a false sense of security because
Because it's not human skin.
but it takes the ink. So it's like So where you would get shading, or it would just go. It's like if you were writing with a pen. You should just write with a pen. It's the same thing because it just takes the ink.
I tried it
And skin will not work like it. You gotta work it into the skin.
But at least you
You
can
don't need to
practice on
work
your-
it into a
on
banana.
your-
You know, like
your artwork or whatever you're doing. It
you-
gives you a
that
sense
just
of-
helps you hold the machine, get familiar with the machine. But as far as skin and your artwork, until you're in real skin, even pig skin is dead already. The real thing you want to look at when you're practicing and for doing your first tattoos is not how it looks right now, but how it heals and how it looks after it heals.
What's that on the Taurus? I'm sorry.
And I gotta say this on camera live, you know, so everybody knows. If you're not tattooing clean and you're being dirty, I'm not gonna deal with you. The first thing, I will look at your first tattoos and I will tell you you need a tattoo clean. And if you send me something else and I don't see barrier protection, or you show me pictures in your bathroom, or you know, like you're not being safe, I will not deal with you either. But if you're safe and you do things correctly, I will tell you anything you want to know. You know, I will put it out there. But if you're dirty and I don't feel like you have the intention, and it's different from not knowing
To not
and
wanting.
just not caring. If you don't know and I tell you and you fix the problem, I will still help you. But if you just don't care about cleanliness, then I won't deal with you. I will tell you, like, look, you need to work on this, and if I don't see an improvement, then
Bye bye.
bye-bye, you know. But I have helped several